How to identify an avoidant attachment style. If you meet 3 or more of these criteria, congratulations. You're definitely avoidant attachment type. First, never initiating contact. As mentioned at the beginning, they rarely make phone calls or send messages first. If you don't reach out to them, they might not appear for long periods. However, this doesn't mean they lack feelings. When together, they're just used to not bothering others and aren't good at initiating contact. Second, warm when close, cold when apart. When dealing with such people, you'll notice an extreme contrast. When meeting face-to-face, they can chat intimately with you as if you're their entire world. But once separated, they become silent, like they've vanished into thin air. This hot and cold attitude is completely puzzling. Third, extremely independent. They emphasize personal space and freedom, enjoy solitude, and prefer handling things on their own. They're very afraid of troubling others. To outsiders, they seem like they don't need to depend on anyone. Even when facing difficulties, they're used to bearing it alone. Behind this independence is actually a wall built to protect themselves. Fourth, learned helplessness. Avoidant attachment individuals often experience learned helplessness. When their needs are ignored, they feel their personality has been devalued, leading them to think, "I don't deserve love." There's a classic story about happiness. A baby elephant was tied to a post with a thin chain from a young age. When small, it couldn't break free, so it gradually gave up struggling. Even after growing up with enough strength to easily snap the chain, it remained tied to that post by the same thin chain, unable to move even one step away. Avoidant attachment individuals often fall into this learned helplessness. In childhood, their needs weren't met, and their personal worth wasn't encouraged or validated. Even though they're adults now who don't need to depend on others for survival, they still need external validation and affirmation to build their self-esteem. Once the feedback they receive isn't as positive as expected, they immediately feel attacked. When resolving conflicts in intimate relationships, they often feel powerless or wronged, like a child needing parents to crouch down, hug them, and patiently guide them to express their inner thoughts. These are the 4 characteristics of avoidant attachment I've summarized. As I mentioned earlier, if you match 3 or more of these, you're definitely avoidant type. As for how to get along with avoidant types, I've covered this in my previous videos. You can refer to those for guidance.